Hello. Today I want to talk a little about voicings, and particular fourth voicings, and how to apply them, and specifically to the song Green Dolphin Street. So let's just look at a fourth voicing there. Now I'm thinking that the bass note is a C here, and so what I'm playing is the third, the major third, the sixth, major sixth, and the ninth. So with that implied as the bass note or the root of the chord, that would outline a C major 6-9 chord. And you can see these are perfect fourths. From E to A is a perfect fourth, from A to D is a perfect fourth. So if I move this down a whole step and the bass note down a whole step, I'd have the same thing, a B flat major 6-9 chord. So that's the first one. That's the first chord I'm going to use in the song. Now the second chord, there's a couple different options that I have, but one of the options is to play this interval here as an augmented fourth, and then the top interval as a perfect fourth. So now that I call that the augmented fourth voicing. This is the perfect fourth voicing. This would be the augmented fourth voicing. Now if I put the C in the bottom as the root, now what I have is a C7 sharp 9. See, because this is the third, this is a flat 7 now, and this is a minor third, or a sharp 9. So I think of that as 9. So this becomes a C7 sharp 9 chord. Now I can use that as the second chord of the song like this. So the second note of the chord is really like a C minor, or it could be an E flat major. But the sharp 9 gives me the minor sound. Now if you don't like that sound, you can just move the whole thing up a half step like this, and you're still going to get the effect of a minor chord, but it's going to have a suspended fourth in it here. So if I move the fourth up a half step, the fourth voicing up a half step, now I have a 4 there, or an 11 if you want to call it. A flat 7, and now I'll call that a minor third. So I can go like this, like that, or I could even make that like that if I wanted to, like put the E flat. But better yet is to use this voicing, go up to there, and play that as an E flat 6-9. See, so now I'm just moving it up a minor third, moving a minor third in the bass line. So I have this, like that one. That becomes an E flat 6-9. So there's my first three chords and the options that I have. So I have this option, or this option, or this one. Now we move down chromatically from the E flat. So all I have to do is just move that fourth voicing down chromatically like that. Now that's of course implying that you're using an E flat 6-9 for that chord there, and then moving down with the roots moving chromatically down. Now if you don't want to do that, a lot of times just that first chord is played as a pedal tone on C's, but you can still use the same fourth voicings even over the C pedal, like this. Sort of that Coltrane sound, you know, with the dissonance against the, you know, that modal kind of sound, like that. So that's the beginning. You take your choice of which ones you like. Or this. Okay, now things kind of change here. Now I'm going to go to a D minor chord, and I'm going to approach it with its 5, so it's going to be an A7. Now if I want to use a fourth voicing, I can use this one up here. Now that one, I should point something out. Let's take this one again and now go to the augmented version. That with a C in the bass, that becomes a C7 sharp 9. But if I put an F sharp in the bass, in other words, it's tritone. If you know what that is, it's a 3 whole tones up, or a flatted fifth interval. If I put the F sharp in the bass and I play that, now what I have is an interesting chord. That's an F sharp dominant 13 chord. See, so like you can use this voicing for the majors, and you can use this voicing for dominants. And that's the whole spectrum too. I mean, you can go like G dominant, you know, F sharp dominant, F, you know, you've got those, it's a 13th, it's a dominant 13th chord. So that augmented one now becomes a dominant 13th or a sharp 9 voicing. So there's the ambiguity of it, and there's also the versatility of it. So like, so now I can go to here. There, see, now that's that augmented chord again. It's that, this one. So I'm using it now as an A13. Now I'm going to go to a D minor. Now the D minor becomes somewhat ambiguous, because now, like, what do you want to use for that? Do you really want to use a fourth voicing, or do you just want to use a regular block chord? If you use the fourth voicing, you know, you have this option of making it like root 4. Sorry about that, I had to reload the camera. So the option we have here for the D minor chord is just to use this voicing, which should be the D, the fourth, and the seventh. We could add the minor third there if we want to just add it in, but we don't need it. But now here we go to the G chord. So now you can use that augmented fourth voicing right there. So that's it. Back to the C6-9. See, so you have that augmented fourth voicing. How do we know that's the augmented one? Well, because that'd be the perfect fourth voicing. So we have a larger interval here. We have an augmented fourth here. But it works really well because the 7th is there, the 3rd is there, and the 13th is there of a G chord. So all dominant chords, we can use that 13th voicing of the augmented fourth voicing. Not actually putting a flat 13 in there, just for variety. And we have a turnaround to take us to the F chord. Now, same thing. Or you could use, that's just transpose, okay? So it's the same exact voicings up a minor third. You can use that one or this one. Now that one, that's the augmented fourth voicing. This one is lowering it here, so we have a flat 13. So you have a augmented fourth, and then you have a perfect third. You have this. Okay, and then turnaround there. Same thing again now. Now we have, this is a little more complicated. We can use this. There, I just like to use maybe that, or maybe that. There's two options for the E7 chord. We're going D minor down to B minor, half diminished. There's an E7. There it is with using the augmented fourth voicing as a sharp 9, which works nicely there. I can use A minor there. Now it kind of gets more complicated. So I'm using some other voicings within that, but I mean, like, just getting the basics down of the fourth voicings. You want to see how they're working in this situation. You don't want to just exclusively use fourth voicings, but you want to mix it up a little bit. Yeah, so I'm mixing it up a little bit. Okay, just wrapping up, I hope that I showed you some ways to use fourth voicings, how they're formed, and how to use them on a song, specifically Green Dolphin Street, and apply them to other songs that you're playing. So I hope you enjoyed this, and thanks for watching.